There's a really specific, very palpable frustration floating around the business world right now.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not being shouted from the rooftops or anything. It's more like it's being whispered in hallways or, muttered right after the Zoom calls end.
Yeah.
It's a sense of, let's call it buyer's remorse, but on a massive scale.
You're talking about the AI hangover.
Exactly, the AI hangover.
Yeah.
Because for the last 2 years, it's just been this crazy gold rush. I mean, every boardroom I've stepped into, someone slams their hand on the table and says, we need an AI strategy yesterday.
Right, the panic buying.
Yeah, the panic buying. So they went out and they bought the shovels, they subscribed to the large language models, they integrated all the chatbots, they bought the tools, and
Now they're waiting for the magic.
right, the dust is settling, and people are looking around saying, wait a minute, nothing actually changed.
Yeah, it's the AI disappointment. It's a very real phenomenon.
They aren't seeing the revenue explosion. They aren't seeing those massive efficiency gains they were promised in the glossy brochures. And that is exactly where we're starting today's deep dive.
It's the perfect starting point.
We're looking at this really comprehensive analysis titled customerplatform.pdf. And it tackles this exact gap, between the hype and the reality.
And it's such a crucial document for this specific moment because it argues that the reason businesses are hitting this wall, it isn't because the AI isn't smart enough.
Right.
It's because businesses have fundamentally confused two very different things, output and outcome.
Okay, let's unpack that right away because, in normal conversation, I feel like I use those words totally interchangeably.
Sure, most people do.
Like, here's the output of the meeting, here's the outcome of the meeting. What's the actual difference in this context?
In the context of the digital economy, they are worlds apart. Think of it this way. Generative AI, the tools we've all fallen in love with recently, it is a miracle engine for outcry. You ask it to write 1,000 marketing emails. It's done in seconds. You ask it to summarize a 3-hour report. Done. That is output. It's volume, it's speed, it's just the generation of content.
Okay, but output doesn't pay the bills. I could write 1,000 emails, but if nobody actually opens them, I've just wasted electricity.
Precisely, and that's the trap. An outcome is a tangible business result. Did that email actually persuade the customer to buy? Did that meeting summary lead to a strategic pivot that, saved the company money?
The actual impact.
Exactly. The source material argues that businesses have become totally obsessed with the volume of what they can produce, basically the noise, while the actual metrics that matter, like conversion rates and customer retention, just remain flat.
So we're essentially running on a hamster wheel, but thanks to AI, the wheel is just spinning 1,000 times faster.
Yeah.
We're sweating more, but we aren't going anywhere.
That's a great way to put it.
Why is that gap so persistent, though? If these models are so brilliant, and we know they are, why aren't they driving the outcome?
It comes down to one word: context. Context.
Or, more specifically, the total lack of it. Let me give you a scenario.
Okay.
If I asked you to go buy a birthday gift for my best friend, but I didn't tell you their age, their gender, their hobbies, or literally anything about our history together, what would you do?
I'd probably panic.
Right.
And then I'd just buy him a gift card. Or maybe a toaster. Something super generic that technically counts as a gift.
Exactly. You would generate an output, a gift. But the outcome, my friend feeling understood and appreciated, would be a total failure.
I see.
And that is exactly what businesses are doing with AI right now. They're asking their AI to, quote, draft a sales email to Bob, end quote. But the AI doesn't know Bob.
Right, it has no idea who he is.
It doesn't know Bob hates golf. It doesn't know he's worried about his Q4 budget. And it doesn't know he's been a loyal customer for 10 years.
Because that information isn't sitting in the prompt. It's what the source calls scattered context. Correct. In a typical company, context is completely shattered. You have crucial data trapped in email chains, Slack logs, sticky notes on a sales rep's monitor, and maybe 5 different sauce tools that don't speak the same language.
The dreaded data silos.
We call them data silos, yeah.
I see this all the time. Marketing has their own database. Sales has a totally different database, and customer service has a ticketing system, and never the twain shall meet.
And the source throws a statistic at us here that is, frankly, terrifying.
Let's hear it.
It says that currently 100% of business decisions are made based on only about 20% of the available data.
Wait, hold on. So we're essentially flying the plane while blindfolded for 80% of the flight.
That's the reality for most companies. The missing 80% is that unstructured data, the phone calls, the email sentiment, the web browsing behavior.
All the stuff the AI simply cannot see because it's not in the database it has access to.
Exactly. So the mission for this deep dive is to figure out how to bridge that gap. The solution isn't just go buy a smarter AI. It's building what they call a customer platform.
Okay, I have to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Go for it.
Customer platform sounds a lot like a slick rebranding exercise for a CRM. Most of the people listening to this deep dive right now, if they run a business, they probably already have a CRM, a customer relationship management system. Why isn't that enough?
It's a very fair challenge. The distinction is subtle, but it's profound. Historically, a CRM is a system of record. Think of it as a really sophisticated filing cabinet.
Okay.
If you enter a name, it keeps the record. If the sales rep forgets to type in the update, well, it didn't happen. It's passive. It waits for you to feed it.
So CRM is basically a storage unit. What makes a platform different?
A customer platform is an active ecosystem. It's not just waiting for input. First off, it tracks the entire journey. It's looking at anonymous visitors on your website, tracking their behavior before you even know their name.
Oh, wow.
It merges that digital footprint with offline data, too. Like, did they visit your physical store? Did they attend an event? And crucially, it handles that unstructured data we just talked about.
So it's actively listening to the phone calls and reading the emails, not just storing the contact info.
Exactly. It governs that data automatically.
Right.
But the term that really caught my eye in the HubSpot context provided in the source is the agentic customer platform.
Agentic. I keep seeing that word pop up in tech circles lately.
Yeah.
It implies agency, right? Like the ability to act.
That is the massive shift we're undergoing right now. We are moving from chatbots, which basically just wait for you to ask a question, to agents.
Okay.
An agentic platform is an environment where human teams and AI agents share the exact same central data to work together.
So it's not humans working on the software. It's humans working with the software as a teammate.
Exactly. And for that to work, you absolutely need a single source of truth. Because usually in a company, the truth depends entirely on who you ask. If you ask sales, the customer is a hot lead. If you ask service, the customer is furious. If you ask marketing, they're just a demographic.
And the AI is just confused by all of it.
Right. If you feed the AI conflicting narratives, it hallucinates or it just gives generic, useless advice. The source uses that classic computer science phrase, garbage in, garbage out.
So true.
If your context is scattered and messy, your AI is just guessing. A customer platform is designed to ensure the input isn't garbage, so the AI can actually have that agency.
So we've established the problem. We have smart engines, but terrible fuel. The customer platform is the refinery. But how do we actually build this? The source outlines a blueprint, right?
It does. It's a 3-phase blueprint to basically avoid the AI trap entirely. And it starts, predictably but really importantly, with the foundation. Phase 1 is the data layer.
Which sounds a bit dry, sort of the eat your vegetables part of the diet. But I'm guessing this is where the unified data architecture comes in.
Correct. This is about smashing those silos I mentioned, bringing sales, marketing, and service data into smart hubs. But there's a piece of tech here that I find completely fascinating called conversational intelligence.
Is that just a fancy marketing word for recording calls?
No, it goes a step further. It uses natural language processing to actively listen to a sales call or read an email thread and automatically extract the relevant data and enter it into the system.
Give me a concrete example of that, because that sounds like magic.
Okay, let's go back to your Bob example.
Okay.
A sales rep is on a Zoom call with Bob. Bob casually mentions, hey, I can't sign until Q3 because we're acquiring a smaller competitor.
Right.
In the old world, the rep has to remember to type that into the CRM after the call. In this new world, the conversational intelligence hears the words acquisition and timeline Q3, and it automatically tags Bob's company profile with those attributes.
That is huge, because sales reps famously hate data entry. They want to sell. They don't want to be data entry clerks. So the AI does the boring stuff so the data actually gets captured.
Exactly. Which leads us perfectly into phase 2, framework or governance. This is about the rules of the road.
Rules like what?
Like, who owns the data? Is it clean? Do we have policies for data retention and deletion? But more importantly, it defines the hybrid human-AI relationship.
This feels like the part where we need to address the elephant in the room. A lot of people are genuinely terrified that AI is here to replace them.
And the source argues the exact opposite. The goal is a hybrid team where AI handles the busy work, the repetitive tasks, the data entry, the basic scheduling. This frees up the humans to handle strategy, creativity, and relationships.
So the AI is the super efficient executive assistant, and the human is the creative director.
Precisely. And once you have that foundation, that framework in place, you finally unlock phase 3, intelligence.
That's cool stuff.
This is where the magic happens. This is where you deploy what the source calls Breeze AI agents.
Breeze. I like the name. It sounds effortless. What makes these agents different from, say, the chatbot on my banking app that drives me absolutely crazy?
The difference is proactivity and context. A chatbot is reactive. An agent is a digital worker. It can prospect for customers, create content, or do customer service autonomously because, and this is the key, they finally have the context to do it right.
Because of the single source of truth.
Exactly. They know Bob likes golf, they know he visited the pricing page yesterday, and they know he currently has an open support ticket, so the agent knows not to try to sell him an upgrade right now.
That is the crucial difference. Context prevents the AI from being tone deaf. That is the biggest fear of automation, really, that you send a chirpy happy birthday email to a customer who literally just filed a massive complaint.
Precisely. It prevents brand damage.
So I want to see this in action. The source gives us some deep dives into specific departments, marketing, sales, and service.
Yeah.
Let's start with marketing. How does this actually change the workday for a marketer?
Well, usually marketing is just about volume. Bless the list, see what sticks. The biggest shift here is hyper-personalization. And I don't mean just putting "Hi, John" at the top of an email. That's 2010 technology.
Yeah. Hi, first name, buy my stuff. We all automatically ignore those now.
Exactly. With a customer platform, the AI sees the full behavior. It sees that you looked at hiking boots on the site, then you read a blog post about trail safety in winter, and you haven't bought anything in 6 months.
Right.
It constructs a message specifically about safe winter hiking gear for the upcoming season just for you.
So it actually connects the dots between intent and timing?
Yes, and the source cites a stat that this kind of timely, relevant personalization can increase click-through rates by 70%.
70% is massive in marketing terms. That is literally the difference between a failing campaign and a blockbuster. And there was something in the source about remixing content, too.
Yes, the content assistant. This solves the blank page problem. You write one really good, human-thought-out blog post. The AI can then remix that. It turns the blog into an email newsletter, a series of social media posts for LinkedIn and Instagram, and landing page copy automatically.
So you do the heavy lifting of the creative idea once, and the AI leverages it across every single channel. That's incredibly smart.
It's pure leverage.
What about sales? Because sales reps are usually the most skeptical of new tools. They just want to hit the phones.
For sales, it's all about the 360-degree view. Imagine a timeline that shows everything. Not just emails, but web visits, service tickets, past purchases. The sales rep isn't guessing what the prospect knows.
And there was a feature mentioned called predictive-led scoring. I imagine this helps with prioritization.
It completely ends the dialing for dollars approach where you just call everyone alphabetically. The AI analyzes past deals that actually closed. It looks for patterns a human would completely miss.
Like what kind of pattern?
Maybe companies of a certain size in a certain region who visit the pricing page twice are 80% likely to buy. It ranks your leads based on that. So you wake up and the system says, call these 5 people first.
And what about when the deal is actually in progress? There's something called a deal desk advisor.
This is like having a veteran sales coach whispering in your ear at all times. The deal desk advisor can predict if a deal is likely to close or if it's stalling. It might flag a deal and say, hey, this has been in negotiation for 3 weeks. Usually deals of this size close in 2. You need to intervene.
And the proof is in the pudding here.
Yeah.
The source mentioned a specific stat for businesses using these tools on HubSpot.
Yes, they saw a 33% increase in closed deals.
Wow.
That is a third more revenue, essentially just by being smarter with the data you already have.
That's incredible. Okay, let's hit the third pillar, service. Customer service is usually where the rubber meets the road. If you mess up here, you lose the customer forever.
And this is where the agentic concept really shines with customer agents. But the technology behind it is what's truly interesting. It uses something called R, Retrieval Augmented Generation.
RJ. It sounds a little less elegant than Breeze, but it's a buzzword I keep hearing everywhere. Tell me what it actually does in plain English.
Think of standard AI, like a raw large language model, as a brilliant improviser who has memorized the entire internet but stopped learning a year ago.
Okay.
If you ask it about your specific company's return policy that changed last week, it will hallucinate. It will make up a plausible sounding answer that might be totally wrong.
Which is a complete liability nightmare for a business.
Exactly. RA is like giving that improviser an open book test. When a customer asks a question, the AI doesn't just guess. It first retrieves the answer from your company's actual knowledge base, your documents, your past tickets, and then it uses that specific verified data to generate the answer.
So it's citing its sources, like
Yeah.
according to the warranty document on page 5.
Exactly. So you get verified, accurate answers every time, and it combines this with sentiment analysis.
Oh, to read the mood.
Yes. If a customer writes in and the language is angry or frustrated, the AI detects that emotion immediately. It knows I shouldn't try to handle this automatically, and it instantly routes the ticket to a specialized human agent. That is unified governance in action.
I love that. It saves the AI from making a bad situation worse with a generic robotic reply. And there was a case study in the source NutriBees.
Yes, NutriBees, by using these customer agents with RAG, they reduce the number of tickets requiring manual handling by 77%.
77%. That frees up the human team to actually solve the really hard, complex problems instead of answering, "Where is my order?" 500 times a day.
Exactly. And here's the reality check, the cold shower we all need to take. None of this works if the fuel is bad. We have to talk about the unsexy part of the equation.
I know exactly where you're going. Data hygiene. The cleaning up of the mess.
It's the part everyone wants to ignore, but it's critical. If you have 3 different profiles for Bob Smith, and one says he's a CEO and one says he's an intern, the AI is completely useless. The customer platform has to have self-generating data capabilities.
Self-generating, so it basically cleans itself.
To an extent, yes. HubSpot, for example, has automatic deduplication. It spots that those 3 Bobs are actually the same person and merges them into one clean profile. But it also does enrichment, which is really cool.
How does that work?
You might just have a raw email address, bob@company.com. The system checks external databases with over 200 million profiles and automatically fills in the blanks. Company size, industry, location, revenue.
So the sales rep doesn't have to spend 20 minutes Googling the company before calling. It's just there.
It's just there. But the other huge barrier to entry, usually, is that this all sounds incredibly complicated to set up. You hear platform and AI agents and unified architecture, and you think, I need a team of 10 software engineers.
Right. I'm thinking custom code. I'm thinking servers. I'm thinking a 6-month implementation time where nothing gets done.
The source specifically highlights that HubSpot is built as a no-code solution. That is a massive shift in the industry. It means drag-and-drop interfaces for your workflows. If you want to set up that deal desk advisor or that automated marketing flow, you literally drag a box on a screen. You don't write Python scripts.
This democratizes it, right? It means a small to medium business can have the exact same superpowers as a giant enterprise.
Exactly. And the scalability is key here. You can start with the starter package and grow all the way to enterprise without ever having to migrate your data to a new system. And migration, as anyone who has done it knows, is a total nightmare.
It's like moving houses. You always lose a box. You really don't want to lose a box of your best customers.
Precisely. You keep the history completely intact from day one.
So let's zoom out a bit. We've covered a lot of ground today. We started with the frustration, the output without the outcome. We realized the core problem was context getting trapped in data silos.
And we found the solution in the customer platform, that active ecosystem that unifies the data. It's basically the heart that pumps clean, unified data to the AI brain.
We look at the blueprint, data layer, governance, and then unlocking intelligence with Breeze AI. And we saw it actually change marketing with personalization, sales with prediction, and service with those smart, safe agents.
And if there is one underlying theme to all of this, it's that the technology itself, the large language models, is quickly becoming a commodity. Everyone has access to GPT-4. Everyone has access to the smart algorithms now.
So just having the AI isn't the competitive advantage anymore.
No, not at all. The real competitive advantage is the quality of your data ecosystem. That is your moat. If you have the best, cleanest data platform, your AI will be smarter and more effective than your competitor's AI, even if you're using the exact same underlying model.
That is a really powerful takeaway. It's not about who has the smartest robot. It's about who has the best library for the robot to read.
That is a perfect analogy.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a thought to chew on. We talked a lot today about investing in tools. But look at your own business and ask yourself this. Are you currently investing in better AI models, just hoping for a magic trick? Or are you investing in the data foundation that actually makes those models work?
Because without the foundation, even the smartest AI in the world is flying blind. And in business, flying blind is a really good way to crash.
On that cheerful but incredibly important note, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the customer platform.
It's been a pleasure exploring the data with you.
We'll catch you on the next one. Keep learning.